Paul. Because Ron Paul, given the fact that I agree he's probably one of the finest human beings alive, by he going into the state, he would actually help legitimize the concept of state.
A very good question. You're a nasty guy. You're supposed to ask me softball questions like, how wonderful are you? And I can say, oh, I'm very wonderful. This is a tough question. Look, if we legalize drugs, which I assume everyone wants to do, the goddamn government is going to tax it and have more money. So do we say we don't want to legalize drugs? No, we say legalizing drugs is part and parcel of economic freedom. If we get rid of rent control, the value of real estate will rise and the state will have more money. So should we say we don't want to get rid of rent control? No. If Ron Paul gets in, he will double, triple, quadruple. Oh, and here's another thing I disagree with Doug. He said that Mitt Romney is the candidate. Mitt Romney isn't the candidate yet. We have a saying in Louisiana that if you get caught in bed with a dead girl or a live boy, and I forget which way it is, you're out. Well, who knows what might happen with Mitt. It doesn't happen until Tampa, and that's about a month away. And Ron might become vice president because on the first ballot, the people are obligated to vote for Mitt Romney, fine, but for the vice president, technically speaking, Romney doesn't pick, it's rather the delegates, and there are a lot of libertarian delegates in there that might go for Ron Paul, so we might have a Romney-Paul ticket. Okay, so this will legitimize the government in the sense that the government will have more money if we legalize drugs or get rid of rent control or get rid of tariffs. I mean, if we get rid of tariffs, we'll be richer and the government will have more money. So should we not have free enterprise? No. Yes, Ron Paul is going to legitimize the state to some extent, but if you listen to what he says, he doesn't say anything in favor of the state. One wonders if he's not an anarcho-capitalist who can't come out of the closet. Maybe when he's vice president, he'll say we've got to get rid of the whole bloody thing. I don't know. But the point is, if we want to go to the TSA and snark them, we need more than 0.1% of the people. We need thousands of people. Who's getting us thousands of people? Ron Paul is getting us thousands of people. As I say, he goes to college campuses and he fills up football fields. This is unprecedented. This man is a libertarian hero. And to say that we shouldn't support him because maybe some people will support the state more, that's not true. Those kids who come out for him and listen to him and talk about end the Fed and end the wars, they're not supporting the state. They're getting libertarianism. And then groups like John's seminar or Mises Institute, where I was, or Loyola University, by the way, if any of you got children or grandchildren, you don't want to get them perverted with Chicagoism or Keynesianism, send them to Loyola. I've got 5 people in my economics department, all of them are Austro-libertarians, so come on down, the water's strong. Well, the water is receded. So to answer your very nasty, vicious question, this is a risk we have to take, just like the risk we have to take when we legalize anything and the state gets richer. But so theoretically, there's some possibility that this could occur, but get real. I mean, Ron Paul is our man. Ron Paul is in favor of ending imperialism, in favor of promoting the free enterprise system, in favor of personal liberties. What more do you want from the guy? Read Spooner and listen to what I said about if you vote for, what is it, Overseer A, are you supporting slavery? Well, yeah, sort of, maybe. But have you violated rights? No.
Hey, Walter. I just wanted to tell you I really enjoyed most of your speech. I still think we should have a live debate, but I just wanted to mention, I don't believe that Ron Paul is evil. I think that he's a pretty great human being. He's mastered more fields than I'll probably ever be experts in a single field, so I think he's a great speaker and a great writer and a great communicator. I don't believe that voting is evil. I don't believe that Ron Paul is evil. I think he's a very powerful communicator. I just want to sort of clarify that, because that was sort of the statement made. Yeah, he gets some fantastic people out. I wouldn't necessarily completely dismiss others. I mean, I just checked my numbers yesterday. I had 150,000 show downloads in one day. That's not bad. So there are other ways of getting the message out. My criticism is of political action, not of a particular individual. And I think we should be open to looking for more. We don't want a monopoly on roads or paths to freedom. I think we should have a discussion about different ways that we can lay the foundations for future freedom. But I just wanted to clarify that. I don't believe voting is evil, and I certainly don't believe that Ron Paul is evil.
Well, I listened to the first 10 minutes of your lecture, and that's not what I got. What I got was the case against Ron Paul. But look, I don't say that only politics is the way to promote liberty. I work with the Mises Institute, I work with other think tanks, IHS, FEE, I've spoken at those places. I'm a big fan of what Doug Casey does and Rick Rule. I favor the Free State Project, where you get everyone to move to New Hampshire, I think it is. I favor seasteading as a possibility. I favor Elijah's poetry, Ayn Rand's book. There's a movie. I mean, as Mao said, "Let 1,000 flowers bloom." But nobody else is attacking any of this other stuff. Nobody's saying we shouldn't. Well, you were saying somebody's saying we shouldn't have universities. That was what's his name, Gary Moore. I got into a debate with him on that. The only thing that libertarians are saying we shouldn't do is politics. Nothing wrong with politics. No, I'm not a big fan of Rand Paul. He's a real sellout as far as I can see. But there was this woman, Karen Kwiatkowski, I'm not pronouncing her name right. She ran in Maryland. She's a solid libertarian. If we had a good libertarian running for office, look, politics is a vehicle. Every 4 years, people pay attention to this in the U.S. here when the vote is on. Otherwise, they're interested in what? Hockey or pizza or something. But every once in a while, they focus on this, and this is our chance to make some friends, to make some converts to the freedom philosophy. And why shouldn't we try this, among other things? I don't say we should all quit all of our other efforts and just start that. That's lunacy. Look at me, I'm a professor. I don't do politics. But I honor and favor Ron Paul, and then this book is my love letter to Ron Paul. A lot of it is this foreign policy, domestic policy, civil liberties, civil rights. But a lot of it is just sort of my attempt to promote his candidacy. Like I would say, well, who will he pick for vice president? Who will he pick for Supreme Court? Not that I thought it was that much of a chance, but then it gives me a chance to list all the good libertarian lawyers. I didn't have your name in there, but I'll get you in the next version of this book, maybe. So this is my attempt to promote Ron Paul because he's promoting liberty. And he's doing a magnificent job. And then to say that, well, he's not a horrible person, I think is too damning with faint praise.
I think that spanking is a euphemism for hitting, and I'm curious, in your opinion, why the non-aggression principle does not apply to a child.
It only applies to consenting adults. Children are imbeciles or morons. I'm not sure I got that distinction. I told this story to my daughter, and she said this is too much information, but when my son was 3 years old, his great thing at a urinal is to rub his penis on it. And I was adamant that he not do that, so I would sort of grab him away. Whereas if I grabbed you away, Winston, that would be assault and battery. I can grab my kid. I mean, I'm not a child abuser, for God's sakes, but you have to have a little rationality here. I think people who have girls are perverted because the girls are so nice, sugar and spice and everything nice. The boys are puppy tails, dogs, or whatever it is. My kid was forever trying to run into the street. And I couldn't make sure that he didn't, so I would spank him once in a while. I didn't hit him hard, but one time he threw sand in his sister's eyes, and my wife wouldn't let me, but I wanted to throw sand in his eyes to show how it felt, just to teach him. My wife wanted me to distract him with a toy or something. I wanted to throw sand in his eyes to show what it meant to do that to his little sister. Look, children are different. The libertarian view is you can't initiate violence against other adults, that all adult behavior should be consensual. But children are irrational. They're just babies. You have to, as I said, I physically grabbed him when he wanted to put his penis on the urinal. Whereas if I grabbed another adult who wanted to do that, I would be guilty of assault and battery. I mean, another adult wants to do it. What can I do? I mean, I can maybe argue with them or something, or say it's not healthy. But there's this expression, do you know the difference between a living room and a bathroom? And if you say no, I say, don't come to my house. Well, if you don't know the difference between a child and an adult, then don't get into political economy, because they're different. And the same with mentally handicapped people.